Hi, I'm David Braun, and this is the second video in the series of telling stories. Now, last time we looked at how do you know you have a good story. Now I'm going to respond to the question, how do you find a good story? Well, like all good stories, all journalists, you must read. Read, especially in the topic that you cover. But read generally. And newspapers, magazines, books, novels, you name it, you must consume, you must be like a sponge. And you must travel. Travel opens your mind, it gives you different perspectives, it helps you correlate different things in the world, it will help you understand the very things that go on in your backyard because you will have seen how other people have experienced the same kind of things and how they've adapted and what their stories are. And you develop contacts. If you have a beat, as they call it, say it's aviation industry or some other aspect of the travel industry, you create contacts. You phone the people, you take them to coffee, you just get to know them, and they're the best source of information because they tell you what's going on, what's new, what's different, what the problems are, what the new exciting developments are. And you'd be amazed. I played squash with some of my contacts as a young journalist, and very often we would sit in the sauna afterwards and just talk about things. And we used to joke with foreign diplomats and the press corps that I was in that sometimes we did our best work when we were sitting in the sauna. And that all that was just talking and getting to know one another. And you have to listen. Storytelling really is also the art of listening and taking in the information, like I said, like a sponge. Listen and listen critically. What is being said, but more importantly, very often is what's not being said here. What has been avoided, what has been spun. Like a photo, you can change reality by cropping it in a certain way, leaving out things that give context in the picture. It's the same with the story. What you leave out can completely change the overall storyline. So you need to be aware. Are people spinning? Are they leaving out things? So ask those questions. Be aware of that. And then I would say always wonder. If you lose your sense of wonder, you won't be a great storyteller. You just must always be enthusiastic and always in awe of the incredible things that happen. At National Geographic, we would hold a daily meeting, the writers, for about 15 minutes, and each of us would say what we thought would be the best story of the day. And we would agree on the 2, 3, 4 stories that we would do that day in a bit of a discussion. And sometimes we change one another's minds. So that's a good way to find a good story, and that's what we did. And then also, because National Geographic funded so many grantees, scientists in the field, we would be reading their reports. Now, very often these were scientists, so the reports were couched in academic, scientific terms, and they would have to explain to us if it was an important discovery or what was different. And we'll talk later about how you produce those kinds of stories. But very often in chatting to them, you would find a story as interesting and sometimes even more interesting about the things they did in the field. Sometimes the things they did to survive or situations they had, like having a close encounter with a lion or what have you. Those can be great stories. So that's how we found stories, lots of ways.